Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. Please be seated. I would now like to invite Colonel Ray, retired, to lead us in the invocation.
Good morning. Please join me in prayer. Lord, we have come together this morning to commission these cadets to serve as second lieutenants in our nation's military. Those who wear the uniform of the United States Air Force know what an honor and privilege it is to serve this great nation in the cause of freedom and peace. Untold millions enjoy freedom across the globe this very day because of the selfless service of America's sons and daughters. Lord, for these senior cadets of Det 150, I ask you to guide them, to be their shield, to be their fortress. In the years ahead, strengthen them with unwavering courage to meet the many challenges that lie ahead. As leaders of America's greatest treasure, her sons and daughters in uniform, may these newly commissioned second lieutenants be ever mindful of the values that serve as their foundation. Integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Lord, these values are the cornerstone of truly great servant leaders. We ask you to instill these new second lieutenants with the endurance and resolve to complete their missions with distinction. And may your hand of comfort and peace be upon the hearts of their families always. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Colonel Ray. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Lieutenant Colonel Michael Coretti, Commander of Air Force ROTC, Detachment 150, welcome to the Summer 2023 Commissioning Ceremony. I'm Cadet App, and I will be your Masters of Ceremonies for today's event. Today, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Coretti will preside as two of our outstanding cadets take the oath of office with their family and friends as witnesses. The oath is a time-honored tradition that finalizes their appointments as commissioned officers in the United States Air Force. By completing the oath of office, they are pledging themselves to the unwavering defense of the ideals expressed by our nation's founders in the Constitution. Since 1946, Detachment 150 has established a proud and storied history of producing only the finest officers for the Department of the Air Force. This legacy is found upon the extensive training program that challenges our cadets to continuously learn and excel. Hard work, dedication, and teamwork play vital roles in the success of the cadet training program. Equally important is a staff that is experienced and fully dedicated to helping our cadets develop as well-rounded citizens with a vested interest in improving our service in the community. At this time, I'd like to introduce our presiding officer for today's ceremony. and an individual responsible for ensuring our program's continued success, the Detachment 150 and Professor of Aerospace Studies, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Coretti. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Coretti is the current Detachment 150 commander at the University of Florida. Previously, he served as Deputy Chief of Future Operations at Headquarters Air Force Global Strike Command, overseeing exercises, force presentation, and future force development. He holds a Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Portland. After commissioning as a second lieutenant, he amassed 1,200 flight hours, including 97 combat hours in Afghanistan. Lieutenant Colonel Coretti has earned distinctions like the Bronze Star Medal and Air Medal. He is now responsible for recruiting, training, and educating Air Force officer candidates upon entering the university and ROTC leadership.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here and celebrate. This is a great day for our soon-to-be new lieutenants. It's a great day for your family and friends. And it's a great day for our Air Force. Colonel Ray, Colonel Booth, and Lieutenant Colonel LeVar, thank you for being here and your support. And thank you, Cadet App, and your entire team that made today possible. I'm humbled to stand here before you and take credit for soon-to-be Lieutenant Booth and Layer's success here at Det 150, but I had absolutely nothing to do with it, as I just arrived here about 10 weeks ago. Cadet Booth, Cadet Winger, I want to first thank you for your years of dedication to the detachment, as I'm sure there were plenty of days that it was tough waking up at dark 30 for PT. And then you stuck with it for at least 4 years, maybe more, as you rose to the cadet ranks, waking up even earlier than you did to come in and train the cadets behind you. So I can't tell you a single thing that my commander told me when I commissioned. But I do remember how proud I was to finally take that oath in front of my friends and family. I believe there are, like Colonel Ray said, there are very few higher callings in this life than to raise your hand in order to serve your country. So if you're ever asked years later what the commander said at your commissioning, and it's okay if you don't, I just have 2 things to impart before I turn it over. The Air Force, whether it seems like at the time or not, is going to present you many opportunities to do things and to go places that are outside both your comfort zone and outside really anything that you ever imagined as you sat the last 4 years as a cadet. Say yes to those opportunities. Don't be afraid to take risks outside your comfort zone, as both success and failure are going to make you develop and be better. The follow-on to that is to embrace those situations where you feel challenged or not yet prepared, because no one's ever really fully prepared. If you embrace those uncomfortable situations, 2 things are going to happen. One, either you rise to the occasion and you surprise yourself with abilities you never knew you had. But the second is you fail and you learn from that failure, and then you get it right the next time. So each path really ends in success, which means success for you, success for the Air Force, and success for our nation. That's all I'm going to leave you with. We wish you all, me and everybody in this room wishes you all success in the world, and we could not be prouder of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Coretti. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to the commissioning portion of today's ceremony, we have the honor from hearing from our guest speaker. I ask that you please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Raquel LeVar.
Good morning. I feel like it's going to sound almost like Colonel Coretti and I got together on our words for today. There'll be some similar crossover here, but I'm so honored to be here today with every one of you to recognize and celebrate this momentous occasion. I want to thank Colonel Coretti and the detachment cadre for inviting me here, and especially to Cadet App for reaching out and having the courage to make that first phone call to ask me to come speak. It was an honor to have that request. I also want to thank the families for allowing me to be a part of this momentous occasion and for being able to celebrate with you your child's accomplishment, your cousin's accomplishment, your family. It's a beautiful thing, and this is a very special moment. I would also like to thank both of the lieutenants whom we honor today for embracing the responsibility of leadership and accepting a very noble and challenging mission, which is to provide security for the American people. The work you do will be a part of what affords Americans the freedom to enjoy what they enjoy every day, to dream the dreams that they dream every day. A brief background about myself: I too commissioned from ROTC. I joined the United States military as a first-generation American. So my mother was Cuban and my father was in Spain. And in order to make it out of Cuba, they had to travel through Spain, and that's how they met. But when I was born in Tampa, Florida, right here. This is my home. And I grew up with a grandmother who reminded me every day, it's like, you are not Cuban, you are not Spaniard. You didn't have a foot in both countries when you were born. You were born right here, Tampa, Florida. You are American and you should be proud of it. Little did she know that that passion and patriotism that she instilled in me for the United States of America would turn into me joining the military. The baby of the family and the first one to join. And the first one to leave the house. They were very scared. Latina and female leaving the household before getting married. So I started off my career field at Intel, but my career quickly changed 2 years after that into the Air Force of Office of Special Investigations. I was able to do things like Protective Service Operations School, fast driving, shooting, really great. I also did advanced crime school, where you got to learn the difference between splatter and spatter. Fun stuff. Made me appreciate forensics. I got to protect leaders such as the Transcom commander, Condoleezza Rice. That was one of my photo with her too. I can prove it. I got to serve in the protection detail for President Bush, for President Trump, for joint partners. There was a joint command. It was a world convention of military officers and Gold Wear chiefs that came to Washington, D.C. And I got to see chiefs and colonels from all over the world. That was amazing. I also had the not-so-pretty job of investigating things such as sexual assaults, deaths, fraud. I conducted joint investigations with the FBI, the Secret Service. I got to work with the local police departments and the sheriff's departments on cases. Led me to a wide breadth of different folks that I got to touch and coordinate with and liaise with and grow with. And then today I went to a completely left field career and joined Central Command, working with Congress. I advise the U.S. Central Commander and the directorates there on congressional affairs and liaison efforts. So again, I get to do liaison work. So it all ties in. So no matter where you go, it ties in. When I commissioned, however, my guest speaker, I do remember the words he said. I hope I can leave you with something today that will strengthen and encourage you on your journey as an officer and a leader. However, I'm going to save his piece of advice for the very end, keeping you on your toes. I'm confident your cadre has prepared you to succeed as an officer. So my advice here is, might echo exactly what they said. We've all had experiences, and I no doubt know that they have been planting those seeds in you of how to succeed and giving you the good advice to succeed. But these are, from my personal experience, a few tips that guided me through my career. First, find a good mentor. Specifically, find 3 good mentors. One should be within your career field and 2 to 3 grades ahead of you that can give you advice, guide you, and will have their best interests in heart for you. The second person should be someone also in the military, be it Air Force, be it Army, Marine, but another military member with a different depth and experience that can provide you guidance from their perspective, something outside of your career field. And the last person, a mentor that is civilian, no military association, so they have no idea what you're going through whenever you come to them. And they can keep you grounded outside of the whole chasing rank, awards, and the activities that the military would have. Also, the echo chamber that you will be in when you're associating with other military members. Never stop learning, number 2. So my favorite thing from the Central Commander right now is that he always encourages innovation, and you always see him rewarding innovation. Innovation goes hand in hand with never stopping learning. I know you just graduated, and I know you're just getting ready, you just want to get done with your tech school or wherever the next step is, but stay sharp and keep seeking educational opportunities. Also, always seek educational opportunities for your troops and those around you as well. And even if you're a lieutenant doing activities, I can't remember what they call it when you first join as a lieutenant. Well, you might just be with a bunch of lieutenants. Encourage them as well. Challenge each other to keep learning. 3, listen to your airmen. Know them. Make time to get out away from your computer, to talk to them, to get your hands dirty with them whenever you can. Know and lean on them for support. They might have that experience or background that'll help you when you get that good idea ferry project that you have no idea where to start with. If you're listening, they will know you care. And if you care, you will see their hard work. When you see that hard work, reward them. Bring that up to the bosses. Praise in public. I know the cadre has told you that. Praise in public, punish in private. But praise them. Highlight them to your boss. Submit award packages when you can. And coordinate the occasional mandatory fun picnics where everybody can go out and eat. Everyone will never argue with you about getting them out of work early. Do those sound familiar? Some of us, yeah? Okay, so here's some additional points that I think are pivotal on the right mindset. And this first one goes hand in hand with one I already mentioned. Don't ever compromise your values. This is part 2 to finding a good NCO and a good mentor. You need to surround yourself with good people of your value, your caliber, people that are where you want to go. You are the 5 people that you surround yourself with. That's a quote from Jim Rohn. So remember that and choose wisely. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. So hand in hand with what Colonel Peretti said. It's when we push ourselves that we grow. Embrace failure. It's not bad to fail. Yes, I said it. It's not bad to fail. Learn from the failure, adapt, and grow. If you do those things, you never fail to begin with. Have courage to accept risk and solve problems. Or innovate. Present innovative ways. Lead with passion. I think this is what got me through the most of my military career, is just the passion to serve. When you're put in charge, take action and get things done. Go to leadership with ideas, and they always say, come with solutions, come with ways to resolve the problem. But there's not always a solution to the problem. You're not always going to be equipped with that. And that's okay. Still come to your leadership with that. Don't be afraid to bring up the problem. Don't be afraid just because you don't have the solution right away that you can't bring it up. Bring it up and use their expertise. Have them put you with the right person and their expertise to try to work a way to find that solution. Lastly, no, not lastly, sorry. Still got more. We have until 3 o'clock, right? Always remember why you joined. For me, it was my passion to serve, my grandmother, my pride in being American. We each have our own reasons, but don't lose sight of that. Keep the long view in mind, the final objective, the things that matter the most when it's all said and done. Don't let dysfunction and bad experiences frustrate you. Don't let them impact your performance. make it better. There will be rough times, there will be toxic environments, there will be difficult situations. Rise above it, make it better. Lastly, one of my favorite pieces of advice from a good senior NCO: don't run out of family before you run out of career. The military will have many demands out of you, but your family will be there long after your military career is over. Take good care of them. And finally, the piece of advice that I was given at my commissioning ceremony, words that I would never forget. It's not fair because he made it very easy to remember. Our guest speaker, I don't remember his name, but he said, "Bloom where you are planted. You will not always get assigned where you want to, and those TDY deployments might come during an unexpected time. Stay positive, work hard, and give it your all. The fruits of your labor will blossom from hard work, and they will get you where you want in the long run. You can't always find ways to excel in the position that you are placed. Make each assignment count. Before you know it, you'll be standing where I am now, wondering where the time has gone." So I have a couple words in here that I wanted to add after I spoke with one of the families. In my career field, I didn't wear a uniform until I was major. So at my promotion to major, I didn't want to do the ceremony. I was like, nope, no one knows I'm a major, I don't need to do it. But a guy that I leaned on as a mentor was another commander right alongside me, security forces commander, and he said, "No, you're doing it. MSG commander is doing your commissioning, or your promotion. We're doing it." I couldn't tell him no, and I'm so glad I didn't, because like today, this day is about your family. It's not just about you. That promotion wasn't just about me. I didn't see it then. And 6 months later, I lost my dad. So take time to celebrate those moments and celebrate the family that you have to be there with you, that got you where you are each time that you do it. Because it's going to keep going. Second lieutenant, first lieutenant, celebrate each win. A lot of these words will have more meaning or greater meaning as your careers progress. You have worked hard to get to this point and are embarking on the noblest thing you can do. Everyone here is exceedingly proud of you, and so am I. Congratulations to each of you and your family. Thank you all.
A little more background on Lieutenant Colonel Barr. So Lieutenant Colonel Barr holds a Bachelor's of Arts in Political Science from the University of South Florida. And she joined the U.S. Air Force in 2005 through RTC. She began her career in intelligence at Goodfellow Air Force Base, Texas, and later joined the Office of Special Investigations. Currently, she serves as Deputy Director of Legislative Affairs for the Commander of the U.S. Central Command at MacDill Air Force Base, Florida. Lieutenant Colonel LaBarre advises on congressional matters related to defense, state, foreign operations, and more. She received prestigious awards including the Air Force Meritorious Service Medal, Air Force Commendation Medal, Joint Service Achievement Medal, and Air Force Achievement Medal. Thank you so much for those words, and as a show of thanks for taking time out of your day to speak with us, we would be honored if you would accept a gift from all of us here at Detachment 150. We've all been waiting for. We will now proceed to the commissioning portion of today's ceremony, in which cadets take the oath of office and receive their second lieutenant bars. As a part of today's ceremony, each graduate will also present his or her family members with the parent pin as an official welcome to the Air Force family, and from the Secretary of the Air Force and Air Force Chief of Staff. During World War II, E-flags signified excellence and were used to recognize companies for their contributions to the war effort. Today, this contemporary adaptation, a P, cradled in the Air Force symbol, recognizes a vital partnership between America's Air Force and the parents of our airmen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the commissioning ceremonies. Our first commissioning cadet this morning is Ashley Booth. The oath of office will be administered by Colonel Jeanette Booth.
Repeat after me. I state your full name, having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office about which I am about to enter. So help me God.
I, Ashley Nicole Booth, having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force, solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
Second Lieutenant Booth's ranks will be pinned on by her mother, Colonel Jeanette Booth, father, Dr. Robert Booth, boyfriend, Hazen Morris, and friend, Ashley Ray. Second Lieutenant Booth has graduated from the University of Florida with a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Her career field in the Air Force is developmental engineering. Her favorite Air Force memory is participating in Friday sports, mainly gator ball. Her most cherished college memory is line dancing at Knockin' Boots. Second Lieutenant Second Lieutenant Booth will now present the Air Force parent pins to her family. Thank you again for the support you have provided Lieutenant Booth during her time here at Detachment 150. Family and friends, you may return to your seats. Second Lieutenant Booth will now receive her first salute from Tech Sergeant
not start crying. So I just want to say thank you so much. This program has been amazing, and I've learned so much about myself and about leadership. I cannot thank the cadre enough for the example you guys have set for us, and just how much experience and how many life lessons you guys have taught us. I know we gripe about a lot of stuff, and we'll come in headstrong with opinions, and all you guys are thinking is these guys have no idea what active duty is like. But it's amazing, and I know as a cadet there are times where you're like, why are we even doing this? And the biggest thing I learned throughout all those years is that it's about the people, right? We're learning to work with people. And so even though there are things that aren't exactly how you feel they should be or don't line up with active duty, you are working with the cadets around you to build a program for yourselves, to train people. And that's what we're hopefully going to go out and do, right, is lead people, make decisions. So I cannot thank you for all you've taught me. I've learned how to not be scared of failing. I was terrified of that all throughout high school, and I've learned that not everything is going to work out, but that's when you lean on people, that's when you ask for help, and that's what those people around you are there to do. And that's what cadre are here for, is to give you guidance, give you mentorship. So you are not alone. That is something I had to learn the hard way, is that you can lean on the people around you, and you should, because they're amazing. So thank you for everything you've taught me, and I love you guys a lot.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Our next commissioning cadet this morning will be William Wingert. The oath of office will be administered by Captain Thomas Rich.
Raise your right hand. I state your full name.
I, William Patrick Wingert,
Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed as second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. That's a good picture.
Second Lieutenant Wingert's ranks will be pinned on by his mother, Karen Wingert, and father, Bruce Wingert. Second Lieutenant Wingert has graduated from the University of Florida with a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry with emphasis in biochemistry. His career field in the Air Force is pilot. His favorite Air Force ROTC memory is representing the Air Force in Joint Color Guards at UF football games. Being on the field in front of thousands of fans with drits screaming overhead is something he will never forget. His most cherished college memory is going back to Tulane his senior year with the Billy Mitchell drill team. Second Lieutenant Wingert will now present the Air Force parent pins to his family. Thank you again for the support you have provided Lieutenant Wingert during his time here at Detachment 150. Family, you may return back to your seats. Second Lieutenant Wingert will now receive his first salute from Gunnery Sergeant Trey James, U.S. Marines.
Good morning, sir.
One gunner sergeant.
I have some pictures of them.
Second Lieutenant Wingert is now welcome to say a few words.
Well, first, I want to say thank you to Cadet App and her team for setting up this ceremony. You did a really good job. I've been lucky enough to surround myself with some of the best people in the world for the past 4 years, and they've made this time at UF amazing. So to all my friends, I want to say thank you for helping me get to this point. The cadre, we talked about failing forward, and the cadre know how much I failed, Captain Rich especially. They've given me a lot of mentorship, and along with Gunnery Sergeant James, given me a vision of what it means to be a leader who cares for the people, and they've given me a lot to aspire to be one day. I can only aspire to reach that potential they have given me. And then my parents, through all the failures, even in high school, they're the ones who encouraged me to meet my full potential. And if it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you, Mom and Dad, and Julian. Thank you all, and go Gators.
Thank you, Lieutenant Wingert. Let's have one last round of applause for our newest second lieutenant. Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the conclusion of today's official ceremony. At this time, I ask you to please rise for the singing of the Air Force song, followed by the exit of the facility.
Big Navy.
This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you all for attending.